Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Michigan here, and another replay to feature for you. If you were in this game, obviously you know what this is all about. If you didn't, you might be able to take a guess from the title, but let's get right into the call. So I'm calling here for the class team on Ensk against the Moss X Clan, a group that I don't think I've played against before this advance, or they changed their name. So I'm taking my standard setup here. That's going to be a couple of fast heavies, a good chunk of E3s, and the rest super heavies. The three chieftains are going to go out 9-0. They're just going to hold and make sure that nothing is able to take that 9-0 line for free. We've got most of our E3s working the tracks, obviously, as most teams do on this map. We're just going to trade back and forth, try and get some good cross shots, and then we've got the last two E3s sitting on the J line. We have a few super heavies headed to the G line, and everybody else going to the F line. Not sure why I didn't spot that. It must have been an E3, maybe an IS-7 with decent camo. A little unfortunate there. I was hoping for an easy 750 right off the bat, but that's not going to happen that easy. So while things are getting underway, I'm just going to kind of delve just a bit deeper into this strat and why I call the way I do here. Now, I started out bringing only about 4 E3s, and I've since upped that to 6 or even 7. And that's because this map is pretty small. The E3 is a fantastic vehicle, and it actually isn't horribly slow. I'm going to take a pot shot there at that E3. I'm not looking to trade 1-for-1 with him. What I really want to do is get into this position, and I'll go right back into what I was talking about for a second, right after I speak about this line. So this position right here is fantastic for an E3. Not only do you have bushes, you do have to be careful, because if you decide to bush too much, you can get shot in the back from that E3 that I was just engaging there. So you do have to be a little bit careful. But what it really allows you to do, if I zoom out, is look down this alleyway. And so that way these super heavies don't have to overpoke trying to see what's down there. We did have a chieftain shoot an HE round. It looks like another chieftain got a solid hit into that E3. So we're up a little bit of HP there. Just shy of one chieftain shot, but something is better than nothing. Great job there to Evil Jedi for trading 2-on-1 against that E3 so far. From his position, it's very difficult to hide your tank. So what he really has to do is just make sure that he pens his, and he absolutely has so far. I'm looking for shots on that bottom right corner of the lower plate of that E3, but so far I've just been getting very unlucky. I'm working here with, I believe, Gunny. Yes, Gunny USMC to see. Maybe I can keep him tracked and then he can shoot him, but so far, not much has happened. Now, some of you may be wondering why I'm being so defensive on Ensk, especially when we're on attack, and that's because, again, this map is very small. So therefore, if I want to make a move, pretty much we can decide the outcome of the battle in about 2 or 3 minutes, so I'm not too concerned. Going for a shot there again on the E3, not going to get it. Now again, back to these super heavies. We have them set up in kind of a 4-2 configuration. Sometimes we do 4 and 3, and that's in case the enemies decide to push through. We have 2 super heavies in there who can clear out the tanks that might be coming closer to the wall, and that way this whole crew doesn't have to turn their whole turret around or their tank. Now, what we've noticed is this E3 has moved over, and that allows us to take this wall right here. Now, this wall where Vicarious, Nygaard, and Harriman are going is extremely important. The enemy cannot get past here without having to come down this alleyway or down the middle section. You also have some nice walls you can shoot through. However, sometimes you get overexposed. I'm still taking shots. It should be noted that's about my 5th or 6th shot I've taken that E3, and I haven't gotten anything out of it, so a little bit frustrating there. But we're up 1,200, and we're trending in the right direction, and that's what I always tell teams that I'm calling for. Let's just make sure we're trending in the right direction, and I get a nice connection there. Unfortunately, it's going to even out as somebody else takes a big hit. I'm not entirely sure where, but we are still up about 1,200 hit points. Our 3 chieftains are still holding strong. They're on full health, which is perfect. Now, I'm going to move up a little bit further. I'm looking to see maybe can I get a shot around that corner. Not going to happen, as the wall that Vicarious is hiding behind is covering. And now I'm going to take a look right here, and there they are. I was pressing up here to see how far I could spot, so they're all hanging out in the back. Now, this presents a couple of difficulties, one of which is we have a very narrow area to attack them. But what we do have as an advantage is that they've all jammed themselves in one corner. So it's a blessing and a curse. I prefer to face teams that decide to push further up. And I did not mention it before, but I called for 2 E3s to move up to help those chieftains. Now, we knew they were not all back in A9. So what I'm doing is using the 2 E3s to help clear out the low sides so that the chieftains can sweep in and clear everything out. Now, I'm going to make a horrible misplay here. This was just a really stupid decision. I poke out. I'm lucky it wasn't worse. I block 700 from a VKK, but I take 751 from another, and almost 600 from an AMX M4, for me dealing 734. Now this is something I have to work on as a caller, because half the time I'm calling, I'm not paying attention, and I completely forgot that I spotted all the tanks right there, and that they're probably still sitting there. So at this point, I've called the chieftains to push through. The E3s are getting it done, but it's a little too slow as the enemy tanks are hiding, so I'm just having the chieftains push all the way in. Now, hopefully we don't lose Mossy there. I'm looking for shots. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this Arty Strike to clear the E3. Now, I'm trying to drop it just so that he can't cover, but if he backs up far enough, the Hairman will be able to hit him, or Nygaard. And it looks like Nygaard is going over there. The E3 is still losing health, 379, 279, and it looks like he's probably going to die from that strike. And there he goes. Vicaris has taken a good chunk of hits. We've now cleared out the north area, but we've lost a chieftain in the process. We have another chieftain almost dead here. A VKK is incoming. I'm going to take a shot. I'm activating Mini Spire just in case we win it, because I know I'm probably about to die. I'm going to take the VK, set him on fire, and I'm going to get shot by the 60 TP coming around the backside. Now, if you look into the city, we have a full-fledged firefight going on in there. It is just a massive brawl. We are, however, pressuring their cap circle. They only have one full health AMX over here to our 3 E3s, sorry, and 2 chieftains. Inside the city, it's not going that well. We're up 3 tanks, but we were just down 700 hit points. It looks like an E3 connected on that AMX M4, bringing that back up. We're up a little bit more, but we're losing tanks. The enemy team has brought it back to 7 and 7. We have a 60 TP coming back, so the situation in the cap circle is getting a little urgent. Darth Tater's going out there, try and cover against that 60 TP. Unfortunately, he's going to take a big hit there. We're only up about 370 health here, 376 to be exact. Ogre is getting some good shots against this AMX M4. And we're trying to keep the pressure on in the cap. Now, with 10 seconds left, what that forces the enemy to do is to expose themselves early, or maybe when they're not ready. Down to 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. And somebody got reset there, unfortunately, just as that cap circle was about to go off. Now, we are up 2 tanks again, however. A lot of that was from the enemy team overexposing. And the game looks okay. We're still brawling. We have an advantage in the city. We are up 1,000 health. Unfortunately, the enemy team is going to finish off 3 tanks consecutively. Bad, unfortunately, unlucky shot there by Callan looking for that drive wheel. Probably the heat messed him up. Now Callan is going to look for this one-shot IS-7. IS-7 is not going to expose himself, so Callan's going to have to chase him down. We have a 1v1 going on against this AMX M4 with Darth Tater. Unfortunately, Darth is going to go for a slight ram, and the AMX is going to get around behind him. Will Darth be able to get his gun around quick enough? The AMX is going around again. Unfortunately, that VKK finishes off Nygaard, who is a one-shot. Callan is looking for this IS-7. Let's see if that's going to go. Darth is in a very tricky situation. He's managed to ram the enemy tank against the dead ally there, and he's going to get to finish him off. Now, Callan is in a 1v2. We are down 52 health, but unfortunately, Darth Tater's out of the fight. Callan is being rammed up against the wall, making it incredibly difficult as his gun comes down on top of that IS-7 turret, and he's not going to be able to get through that front plate. Just looking for one shot there. Not going to get it. Darth Tater is coming around the corner. Callan looks for another shot, but the IS-7 is going to finish him off, and now we are in a... Darth is in a very tough situation. He's going to finish off the IS-7, but with 33 seconds left and the enemy being on defense, all he has to do is hide behind that tank so he doesn't get killed. Unfortunately, he decides that he's going to come out and face Darth, giving him an actual chance to win this game. Darth is going to pen one against him. The VKK is trying to get his side. Will he get it? Darth manages to get himself around, but the VKK fakes him out. 6 seconds left, 5 seconds. The VK bounces. He could have kept going around. He's going to pull back right into Darth's gun, and Darth is going to finish him off for the 15-14 win against Mas X here on Class X. Now, this brings up one massive important point here as we just get this thumbnail, which is to know your role in the game. If the enemy tank had just hidden behind that mouse at that last second, or if he had just kept going, he had a lot of opportunities to make sure he got his team that win. Instead, he tried to go for that last kill. And with these team events, it is not about your personal result. Despite Darth getting 5 kills, it is about the team win. And unfortunately, even if that VKK had gotten another kill, that would have been his 4th kill there. He lost the game for his team. So, thank you so much for watching this. This was a nail biter. I'm glad I don't have the comms for it because I was all over the place. And I will catch you in the next one. See ya.